Welcome to the Get Unbusy Podcast. I'm your host, Kate Philpott, and this podcast is all about throwing your busy work out the window. You deserve to stay locked in on the parts of your business that light a fire under your hoo-ha, all right? The passion-driven freedom lifestyle, not being glued to your laptop every waking minute of the day. It's time to build a business that works for you, not one that works you into the ground. So, let's get unbusy, shall we? Hello and welcome back to the Get Unbusy podcast. I am absolutely buzzing to have this conversation with you today, and I might be giving you some insights that you weren't expecting. First of all, before we get into it, I'm going to give a little life update. Now, I am pre-recording these episodes, so this is a life update from a couple of weeks ago as you're listening to this, but I can't publicly say it yet. So I am dying to share this information with someone, but I can't say it publicly because not everybody knows. It'll all make sense when I say what it is, but I found out last Friday, today's Thursday, I found out last Friday that I can't even say it. I am gonna become an auntie this year for the first time. My brother and his girlfriend are expecting a little baby boy, and oh my goodness. For any of you who have been in my world for a while, you know that I'm genuinely not interested in having my own kids. Like I see a certain life for myself but that's more centered around a lot of my own personal freedom. And because of that, I've known for years that I don't want to be a mother, but I want to be an auntie. And I would love nothing more than to be an auntie. And I'm going to be an auntie. Oh my God. So in late July this year, we're getting a new little baby into the family. She's already like 18 weeks as I'm recording this, which is wild because like finding out is one thing. Finding out there's a pregnancy and like there's a baby coming is one thing. But then finding out that they're almost halfway through the pregnancy is like, oh my goodness, like oh, I'm so happy. Our entire family has just got this like bubble of joy and like broodiness and just there's just a wonderful feeling in the air. And interestingly enough, Ireland as of last week, it was literally in the news. The entire country did not get the tiniest bit of sunshine for over 10 days. 10 days, not even a little bit. It was just grey constantly. And to be honest, that kind of made sense because a month ago tomorrow, as I'm recording this, my nana passed away. And like now she had a very long, happy, wonderful life. She was 93 years old and she was over 15 years into her journey with dementia. So like it was her time. Obviously, it's still bittersweet and, you know, it was hard, it was emotional, but this has really changed our perspectives on everything. Like the grief, it's like it's been taken away. And we all genuinely believe that she knew, that she had something to do with it. And they often say that like when one person leaves this world in a family, then another person comes in. And it's just all working out beautifully. Anyway, what I was saying about the sunshine, because I'm getting a little carried away here, is there hadn't been any sunshine for like 10 days in Ireland, in the entire country. And ever since I found out last week, we've had the first sunny days. Like, I mean, sunny days, as in I was walking around in a t-shirt last weekend without a jacket and without needing a jacket. I was like, what is this? Like walking around in a t-shirt in February, like, you know. And we've had multiple sunny days this week, and it just feels like the entire energy is lighter. Everything feels lighter, and loads of positive things have been happening in my family for multiple members of my family ever since my nana passed away. And I genuinely believe that she has had something to do with that. So I'm looking at her picture now and I'm like, thank you, Nana. Love you so much. Okay, so let's dive into this episode. 10K months will piss you off without this. Now, a huge conversation in the coaching industry is reaching 10K months. It's like the goal that you have. Like, there's no point in even focusing on any goal that isn't you getting to your 10K months. And I mean, there are certain very high level coaches, like I follow certain 7 and 8 figure coaches who are like, okay, we're talking 100K months, and they talk about those as the goals. But for most coaches, the first major milestone goal is reaching a 10K month. Well, not just one, obviously, multiple 10K months, and that's just your default income. And I have some thoughts on this. I really do. And in order to make this point, I'm going to paint two pictures, right? I'm going to paint the picture of two people who are both making 10K a month in their coaching business. But things look very different for those two people. So let's talk about the first girlie. Her name is Michelle. Michelle is making over 10K a month. Sometimes it's up around the 11, 12, 13. Sometimes it's around the 10, but like it's generally five figure months all around. Now, Michelle is working her sweet lily white ass off. She is waking up. She's waking up at like 6 in the morning, and she runs straight to grab a coffee, and she's straight into work. She works right from like 10 past 6 all the way to 10 o'clock, has a very quick breakfast, runs back to the laptop, is like, oh shit, did I miss something? Did I miss something? She is working, trying to post on the social media, replying to clients. She's doing all those admin tasks that tend to take way longer than you ever expect them to. Like, you're setting up a new Facebook group, you're setting up an email automation, or, an email sequence, something to work in the background or whatever. And then she doesn't get that done before going back to client messages, and oh, now she has a client call, and she's on that call, and oh, now there's this other thing that she has to do. Oh, now she's checking her emails, and like there's an email she feels she has to reply to straight away. Then suddenly it's lunchtime. She's like, I can't stop for lunch right now. So she keeps going, and it's very heavy. And she's looking at the to-do list. It's already like 2 p.m. And she's like, how are there still like 10 things on this to-do list? I've already been working like an 8-hour day. Anyway, she keeps going. Okay, dinner time. Whoa, Michelle's fucking starving. She is so hungry. She didn't work out or go for a walk or get any fresh air or touch some grass. Like, she is literally woken up, grabbed a coffee, gone straight through, essentially. And none of it feels fun. It's all very heavy and it's all very overwhelming. And she's like, what the fuck? I chose to get into business. So why is it so heavy? Why is it so much busy work? And why am I working so many hours and still not feeling like I'm getting further along? Because it's a lot of doing without it, between you and me, it's a lot of doing without a lot of intention. Maybe Michelle doesn't realize that just in the doing of the things. She thinks she's ticking things off, but things are not actually moving forward as much as they could be, okay? So that's Michelle. And we love Michelle and we respect Michelle and we feel for Michelle. But then you've got Clarissa over here on my other side. And Clarissa is also making 10K a month. But see, actually, about Michelle, Michelle's like, you know what? At least I'm making 10K months. Like, that's got to justify it. I'm hustling. I'm getting the money's coming in, so it must be working. There's also that reaffirming of, okay, what I'm doing is the right thing. What I'm doing is the right thing because the money's coming in. And maybe it is moving up, but she's still busting her balls. Now, Clarissa's also making 10 to 15K months. And Clarissa is waking up, reading her book, doing some journaling. She's doing some EFT tapping in the morning, getting herself in the right vibes. She takes her coffee and she goes outside and just breathes and is like, oh, it's another good day to be me, and it's another good day to be working in my fucking dream business. And she's working with some clients and she's doing some deep work and getting some creative stuff done. Maybe she's working on mapping out an upcoming masterclass and doing the brainstorm for that and all of that, right? And then she's got a client call, and everything she's doing is very intentional, and it's all with a view to a bigger picture rather than just trying to stay afloat. And then she's like, oh, look at that. It's 2 o'clock and I'm already finished everything I wanted to do today. Cool. So Clarissa closes her laptop, looks at what's on in the cinema today. Oh, look, another showing of Wicked. I'm gonna go see it for the fourth time. Like, calling myself out here. Not gonna lie. Literally every single week I'm checking if Wicked is on. I want to see it at the last week. I can't believe it's still on. It's been in the cinema for like 4 months. But every single week I'm checking because I don't want to miss it. I want to see it as again in the cinema as late as I can, if that makes sense. Anyway, so Clarissa is like, she goes to the cinema, she sees Wicked, she meets her friend afterwards for some sushi, and they both have a laugh and they're both feeling like, what a fun life we lead. And they're having a giggle with the cute waiter and their flutter and their eyelashes. And then they come home and then, there's more like mindset stuff like they do. Clarissa's like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna do a little vision board for myself just for the next month and see what kind of magic is gonna come in for me. And it's all very flowy and very enjoyable. Maybe at some point during the day she goes to a fucking dance class or goes to the beach because it's sunnier than she expected it to be. Like two very different days. You have two people, both making 10K a month or more, but they are living very different lives. They are living extremely different lifestyles. And I know which one I would prefer. The problem is, a lot of people don't believe that Clarissa's lifestyle is possible. They're like, well, if I'm making 10 to 15K a month, I must be busting my balls. Therefore, in order to get to that point, I better bust my balls and work every possible hour of the day and cancel on my friends and not show up to the workouts that I had planned and put off those fitness goals until like 4, 5, 6 months in the future. Because like I'll get to that. But right now I'm focusing on this. I'm coming up to a big launch, or I've got loads on right now, and I'm so busy, and I'm hosting a bundle, and I'm speaking at summits, and I'm starting all this stuff. Like, and it's very like the vibes are not on point with Michelle and the likes of Michelle, but with Clarissa, it's like, wow, I've got this dream business, and it also supports me living my dream life outside of business. I am all for being on when you're working, like being on when you're working in your business or on your business. But I'm also very much for switching off and being completely off your business and disconnecting from it. I mean, this is why my Instagram is called More to Life Kate. I am not here for building a business that feels like it's pulling every individual hair from my scalp. Like I don't need things to feel like a drain. I'm not feeling that's not fun. That doesn't seem like fun for me. I don't know about you. The thing is, the way I work things, the way I build a business, and the way I teach my clients to build a business is we're building things to be streamlined. We're building things to essentially run on their own so that we can work in the business and on the business to our heart's content and enjoy that, but also knowing that we don't have to and we get to switch off and we get to go and do whatever the fuck we want for the rest of the day. Or, maybe instead of it being like you work up until 2 p.m., maybe it's like, okay, yeah, I work like 3 full days in my business and the other days I'm completely off. So that gives me a Saturday, a Sunday, and then maybe like Tuesday and a Thursday, just because. Then there's no obligation. There's no, oh no, I better be online because XYZ, or like, no. You do realize that you're the one who makes the rules. You're the one who designs your business to work in whatever way you want it to work. And there's no expectations that you need to fulfill, whether that's client expectations, audience expectations. And if you feel like, oh, well, if I pull back that much, if I work that much less, I'm not going to get as much done and therefore I'm not going to reach my goals as fast. First of all, I'll say that's simply not true. Second of all, I'll say all you need is systems. And this is a huge part of what I teach. If you ever look on my Instagram, I'm always talking about systems. Like, so I'm like, I see systems as like my little cute little minions who are out there doing my little busy work tasks for me, and it's completely free. Either they do it for me through like automation, or they make my job a lot easier, as in it reduces the amount of time it takes me to do a certain task by like 80%. Hell yeah. Imagine applying that to like all of your busy work tasks. That is the vibe. So, bringing it back to the topic of this episode, 10K months will piss you off without this, and this is time. I don't want to be making 10K months if I'm glued to my laptop and not even able to enjoy the fact that I'm making 10K a month. Like, where's the money gonna go? Savings? Like, yeah, of course, like I'm actually great at saving. It's always been a strength of mine when it comes to money. But like, I also want to live. I also want to go to Wicked for the fourth time without thinking that it's an unnecessary expense. Or like, I also want to go out to that fancy restaurant and flirt with the waiter. Well, maybe not. My boyfriend would be like, Kate, like, but like, take I don't want to work Thursday and Friday this week. Instead, I want to book myself into a little cabin down the country. And I can do that because I have the time and I have the money. But if I have only the money, but I don't have the time to do that, what is the point of the money? You know what I'm saying? The money is fantastic, and I absolutely support your desire to have the money. Like, I fully am here for you getting that bag. Get that cash money. I fucking love that. But without the element of time, what is the money even doing? What is it ever even going to be exchanged for other than like stuff? Because it can't be exchanged for experiences. And if it can't be exchanged for experiences because you don't have time to do the experiences, then what is life? So this is why, right? This stuff goes so much deeper than SOPs and checklists and automations. Like, yeah, that's the method to get into this freedom lifestyle. It is. There's like that it works. That's what works. And I'm telling you now, if you're stressed out about always being busy and you don't have systems in place, then like this is the way. Get the systems in place and then be like, oh right, yeah. Oh yeah, the stress is gone because I don't have that ridiculous workload anymore. It's all taken care of, or at least for the most part, it's taken care of. And I get to like, whew, nervous system calms down. I get to take a little breather and go live my life. Okay. This was a passionate one. I know it was, but I cannot stress this enough. You achieving your income goals, your next massive income milestone, and 10K months is really just an example. It could be 20K months you're aiming for, 50K months, 100K months. The same stuff applies. I often ask my clients this, like, would you rather be making 50K a month, but not have the time to spend time with your family, go work out, go be in fresh air, spend time with your friends, invest time into your relationship and like your fiery passions, your passion projects, the things that really light you up that are outside your business. Like for example, for me, something I'm working on right now is a creative writing project. Like if I didn't have time to do that, it would take a lot of enjoyment away from my week. So would you rather have to work 17 hours a day, but you get to make 50K a month? Or would you rather make 10 to 20K a month, but you only work like 10 to 20 hours a week? I fucking know which one I would go for, because 10 to 20K a month is still overflow. It's still massive overflow. And not to mention, if you're like in the 10 to 20K month range and you're like, I do want to take this up a notch, you have the time to take it up a notch because you're only already working 10 to 20 hours a week. What if you're like, okay, I'm gonna double my my hours. I'm gonna work like 30 hours or 40 hours in the week, like working on the trailblazing, on the growth activities, reaching more people, the visibility, selling more, selling in different ways, all of that stuff. And you're gonna reach way more people and grow your business way faster because you have the time to do that. Like you get to choose. So 10K months, again, just being the example, whatever income milestone would be overflow for you is only overflow when you have an abundance of time. I would absolutely love to know. I would love to know what parts of this episode were your main takeaways. Share it on your Instagram stories and tag me at More to Life Kate. I would love to know. I want to scream about this with you in the DMs. Like, let's talk about it because, like I said at the beginning, most people just think that 10K months are the goal, but at what cost? Like, don't we want to live this most abundant, wonderful life with all of these different facets of life in there, or do we just want to work our asses off 24/7? Like, it's very clear to me which one is a hell fucking yes. And I'm sure it will be to you as well. If you've made it this far into this episode, you're probably like nodding along, like, yeah, Kate, you know what? You're right. You're right. Okay, listen, go have a fantastic day and go smile and share this on your stories and let me know what your main takeaways were. I cannot wait to hear from you. All right, chat to you soon. Bye. All right, gorgeous. That's a wrap on today's episode of the Get Unbusy podcast. If you got some juicy golden nuggets from this episode, I want to hear about it. So take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at More to Life Kate because your girl wants to know. And remember, you're an absolute powerhouse. You can create the life you've been dreaming of. And I can't wait to see you pop off. Chat to you soon. Bye.